Hey guys, it's Mia.
And Juju.
And welcome to
It's Her Time Podcast. So on last week's episode, we had a guest, Scoop Smith, who is a three-sport athlete. So what'd you think about it?
I think for our first guest, that was a really good guy to have. Being a three-sport athlete and being dominant in all three of his sports, he has Division I offers for all three of those sports, so I think that was just really cool to have him on.
And I also feel like a lot of younger kids look up to him. And I just love that we had a very good conversation and we learned a lot from what he had to say.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's like the whole Pittsburgh knows him, and then even he's getting his name out there to parts outside of Pittsburgh by playing on all these teams and going and dominating. But also it's kind of cool when we're walking around with him at all these sporting events, high school, college. People will come up to him and be like, oh, you're Scoop Smith, and all these little kids that run up to him. I think that's just really cool to be around.
It's also an accomplishment, you made it whenever people come up to you and just maybe ask for your autograph or ask to take a picture.
The woman of the world, we're basketball girls. We're the woman of the world, we're basketball girls. What time is it? I said, what time is it? Yeah, what time is it? I said, what time is it? It's her time. We're the woman of the world.
On this week's episode, we are super excited to be having Mady Aulbach here with us.
Name, image, likeness. Over the last 2 years, those deals have generated millions of dollars for college athletes across the country, and that includes Youngstown State. The women's basketball team has landed a few of those NIL deals, including one that may lead this Penguin towards a future in professional wrestling.
I mean, I would love to say I've been a fan from day one, but I haven't. My only experience with wrestling is with my two brothers.
Mady Aulbach may not have been born a fan of the WWE, but she is quickly becoming one. The Penguins' two-time captain was one of 15 collegiate athletes from across the country selected to be part of the WWE's Next in Line, a program designed to recruit and develop future wrestling superstars.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I love that you do this. I feel like this is very forward for girls your age, especially to have a podcast like this. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you here too. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I recently graduated in May from Youngstown State, where I played 5 years of college basketball. While I was there, I got an undergraduate degree in marketing and sales, a master's of business, and then a master's of professional communications. So now I'm an insurance agent in Boardman. I coach for Slam, and I coach freshman girls at Boardman High School. So
that's really interesting, seeing how you've lived out your college, your basketball dream, to going to a D1 school. That's really interesting, especially for younger girls to look and how it's possible to go there and study something for education and just come out with an actual job and just be thriving. I know we've talked a lot about having drama with friends. Have you experienced anything like this with basketball?
yeah, definitely in high school, I think petty things happen, but for me, mostly it was the parents.
Yep, I hear that a lot from players too.
Yeah, I think that's really big in high school.
Yeah, I think when I was in high school, there was a lot of good girls on our team, which I think we could have been a lot more successful than we probably even were. But I think a lot of parents got into it, and there would be rumors circulating and stuff about girls started by parents. A few parents would make rumors I was trying to move out of the district, and then my high school coach would have to get involved and be like, are you moving? Just tainting the relationship I had with my high school coach. Just certain parents saying things about who I chose to play AAU for, and if I wasn't playing for this certain team, how I wasn't developing the girls playing for another team. So just a lot coming from grown adults when looking back, I was literally 14 years old and shouldn't have to have beef with a 40, 50-year-old. So I think that at the time, I thought it to be way more normal than it was because there was so much of it going on, whether I was in AAU or high school, whatever it was. But looking back, I could never imagine being an adult trying to have beef with a 14-year-old.
Yeah, that's actually crazy that you said that, because I remember I was an 8th grader and I was thinking about transferring to a school, and it was always borderline. But then when everyone kind of started finding out that I was thinking about it, there were rumors going around everywhere. I swear, parents would go up to my middle school coach and be like, hey, she's leaving, and they would kind of like bring my mom into it, and it was just crazy. But then I remember like a rumor going around school like, hey, Mia's leaving next year, and I didn't even know where I was going to high school, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I don't know where I'm going. My parents don't know where I'm going, but everyone else seems to know where I'm going. Like the decision was made for me. And then I remember like I finally made the decision. I let everyone know. Like it was all very respectful. Like I'm very close friends with a lot of these girls, and it was so hard because the girls basketball team, like I was close with them. Growing up with them, I always wanted to play with them. But then I started getting like text messages, like book-long text messages from some of the players, and then it was like turned into like, let's meet, and I couldn't meet at the time. But it kept going on, and I finally met, and we went to a Chick-fil-A, and it was my friend who I'm really close with, still really close with, and who was a senior on that team, and she just was like ripping me out. Like she was like, we hate you for this. Like she was like just ripping me out. Everything that you could think of, she was saying it. And I was like sitting there as this little 8th grader. I wasn't even a freshman yet, and I just kind of had to hold it all in. I didn't know what to say back because at the time when you're transferring, you can't really say anything until it happens because you never know what they're going to use against you. So I'm sitting there like holding it in. And I'm like, okay. And then we leave Chick-fil-A after I get ripped out by these girls. And then their parents start texting my mom and, like, hating on me. Like, and I'm sitting there, like, my mom's like, Mia, trying not to bring me into it because it's hard for me to take it. So my parents are trying to deal with it. She's getting emails. She's getting text messages. And then actually now till this day, Maddie's mom, like, won't talk to my mom. She saw her in Target the other day, and my mom said hi to her, and she just gave her, like, a head nod. She wouldn't speak, like, and I told my friend that, and she was like, yeah, that's just how they are. Like, they might never talk to you again. And I think that's so petty. Like, I was an 8th grader making a decision that was best for myself and doing what's best for me, and they took it as, oh, you're not benefiting my kid. And I think that was really hard for me because I'm trying to be a Division I athlete. I'm trying to go as far as I can go in life. I'm trying to better myself, and they're worried about their kid and how I can help their kid do things that they want to do.
I always like loved basketball so much. I honestly never thought of it turning into like a college career for me until I honestly got my first offer. Like I was just playing for fun. I just loved it so much. So when all of that became so serious about basketball, and at the time I was also going through like an AAU team change because of some things that had happened at the time. And all these different adults were kind of coming at me about if I potentially chose this AAU team, like I wouldn't be allowed back in this gym again. And if I transferred from this school to this school, I would have to sit out for a year. And I was like, first of all, I don't want to move schools. I don't want to have to move AAU teams. Like all these unforeseen circumstances are happening. I just want to play basketball. I just really like it. Yeah. And all these adults came at like an 8th grade girl. Looking back, I could never imagine, like I said, being an adult and thinking wrong of a kid for just playing basketball. Like at the end of the day, what does a 12-year-old in 8th grade know? Yeah. They don't know anything.
We're the women of the world. We're basketball girls.
All right, now it's time for our favorite segment of the episode, Full Court Press.
Full Court Press is where you have to answer a series of questions, and if you don't answer within seconds, then you have to eat that olive right there.
Look.
Do you like olives?
No, not at all.
Okay, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off with the first question, and then it'll go from there.
Oh God, I'm nervous. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather lose the ability to lie or believe everything you're told?
Believe everything I'm told.
Tall boys or short boys?
Tall.
Read minds or be invisible?
Be invisible.
Only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Only be able to shout.
Never use social media again or never watch TV and movies again?
Never watch TV and movies again.
Always have bad hair days or always have bad breath?
Always have bad hair days.
Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Who's a better parent, your mom or your dad?
Oh.
That's an olive. That's way too
Don't bring Trisha and Eric into this.
Okay, well, you're just going to eat this olive right here.
Okay.
The olive spoon's so long.
Like, genuinely?
Yeah, just eat it.
Just don't even, just put it.
You just gotta
gotta chew in, that's it.
In your mouth, all the way.
What's in the middle?
Yeah, I
it's
don't
just
know.
part
Nobody
of the
knows.
olive.
Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Okay.
You ready for the next one? That was fast.
Yeah.
Dang it.
We both spit ours out if you didn't know that. Alright. Who was better, Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese?
Caitlin Clark.
That's what I thought.
Steph or LeBron?
Stop. I need you to. You're stuttering.
And you skipped 2 questions. We were on who's a better parent, not who's harder on you.
Oh, Steph or LeBron.
Yeah, you skipped that one.
Okay, I thought. Okay.
So are we just starting from right there
Yeah.
then? Okay. Start at that one, Steph or LeBron.
Okay. Steph or LeBron?
LeBron.
Who's harder on you, your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Who's better, Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese?
Caitlin Clark.
Lose all your friends or lose all your money?
Lose all my money.
Accidentally send a risky text to your parents or your boss?
My boss.
Really?
Yeah.
Cheat on someone or get cheated on?
Get cheated on.
What's the biggest regret you have in your life?
Not listening to my mom more.
If you could take one person on an island for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Probably my little brother.
Aw. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
I love myself. I'll eat an olive for that. I don't want to change anything.
Confidence. Confidence is key.
Oh, God. This is horrible. I have a stomach ache.
She like really crushed
I'm just
that
gonna
one
hold
on
it
the
till it
side.
disintegrates.
She crushed it.
Just chewing it everywhere.
It's like sour.
Is that? I thought it was
salty.
salty.
Really
Yeah.
salty.
Well, I didn't actually have it in my mouth long enough
Me
to.
either. To chew it the
It's
rest.
so bad.
Yep.
That's horrible.
Which brother do you like better, Jack or Eric?
I can't answer that.
That's
I already said I would take my little brother on an island. I can't keep. I love them both equally. This is horrible. Because someone decided to bring my family into it. I can't. Oh my God. I'm never eating an olive again. Ah. That one was really, really bad. Really sour.
Okay, at least you have one more question.
Okay.
You just have to answer this one and not have another olive.
Okay.
Would you rather have your parents read all your text messages or your boyfriend have access to all your texts?
My boyfriend.
Okay.
That's confident.
Yeah, well, that's it. You ate 3 olives, took it like a champ.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to our favorite part of Full Court Press, so stay tuned for more. Obviously, Juju and I want to play at the next level. I think a lot of young girls look up to people that play at the next level and want to get to that position. So being a Division I athlete, could you talk a little bit about like the sacrifices you have to make and what it's like to be a Division I athlete?
Yeah, I think the biggest realization for me when I got to college basketball was just the accountability aspect of it all, and you're super highly monitored, not only on social media, like all my coaches harped on a lot. We watch what you post, and it's so true. Like I remember sitting on the bus one time and one of my teammates had posted a TikTok and it literally just said a few minor swear words in it. And these people were like, it went a little bit viral. Yeah. And people were commenting on it that the girls were racist, like because of the words in it and stuff. And it was by no means anything like that. But then the athletic department got contacted, like by people on TikTok. Yeah. Our athletic, like the head of athletics contacted the social media guy that was on the bus with us. And he was like, you guys need to take this down right away. Like you don't realize how much you're monitored. Any incident that happened like within the team, if I didn't tell him first, then I was in trouble. At 4 a.m, and 3 of my teammates that were living together at the time hear this pounding on their door, and the peephole's covered. So like, okay, it must be campus security. They weren't doing anything wrong. So they open the door, and it's the girlfriend of this guy. And she comes barging in the room, like destroys the room, like is flipping over the table, like screaming, just causing a whole scene, destroying the room. And mind you, we don't even pay rent at this place. Like our scholarships pay the rent. So we're going to get in big trouble if stuff is ruined. Yeah. So my other 2 teammates are like, if you don't leave, we're going to call the police. Well, this girl's boyfriend is in my other teammate's bathroom. And we're like, he's hiding, he's being the coward. He's hiding in there. He needs to come out and face whatever consequences he's gotten himself into. So he's hiding in the bathroom. She's literally breaking down the bathroom door, screaming. The police end up coming, whatever. They get her out of there. And then the next day, I had no idea any of this happened. Again, it happened at like 3 a.m. I didn't live with the girl at the time, and she didn't tell me. Obviously, like it was her business. I wasn't going to be in her business. My coach calls me or texts me. I can't remember which one it was. And he was like, do you have something to tell me? And he was like, your teammate, like this whole situation happened. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you stop it? Why weren't you there? And I was like, just really taken aback because I was like, A, I don't live with her. B, it wasn't really my business. That's kind of off the court. You don't think that's something you have to control as a captain. And it just made me realize like, okay, this like captain leadership role thing, you're the scapegoat for every situation. Like if something happens like, oh, well, I told Mady and she said it was good. Like that's like how it was viewed. So that whole aspect of it, I was like, I got to be on my best behavior. I got to make some sacrifices. Like, these girls are my best friends, but they're also like just my teammates sometimes. And it has to be like, okay, as your teammate and as your captain, I feel like you shouldn't be doing that.
I think you saying that, like, about the line being crossed with friends and teammates is kind of hard because some people will see that as, like, you putting yourself first so you don't get yourself in trouble, but you're going to try and get someone else in trouble. I think it's hard for people to realize that, like, you're just trying to help benefit them and what's best for them at that time. And I think in the moment they don't realize that, and they kind of, like, take it out on you because, like, obviously if something's wrong as a captain, that's your responsibility to tell the coach. And it's almost like you're snitching on them, and it's like some people take that such to heart. Like, and it's like sometimes you just got to grow up and get over it and just, like, let it roll. And you did what you did for your teammate. You're looking out for them, but you also need to look out for yourself.
I'm actually one of the captains for volleyball, and my coach like really harps on how it's our responsibility for other people and like keeping their energy up. And it's not as extreme as college, but definitely I have to help people keep their moods up too, and it kind of like falls on me. And I have 2 other captains who are my teammates, and we have to kind of be in charge of the court, so it's definitely interesting. I think that's why people probably voted you in as a captain, because I know that you're capable of leadership and helping people when they're at 50%. You're constantly giving 100, and I feel like that can inspire them too to kind of be like you.
Well, thanks.
I said, what time is it? It's her time.
Okay, now it's time for Mia's advice of the day. A little relationship tip that I have is if he wanted to, he would. I don't think you should ever be begging for a man to put in effort to you. I think it should be 50-50, like give and get. You're giving your all to him, and he should be giving his all to you. All the attention should be on you. All your attention should be on him. And I think you should never beg a man to take you on a date, to text you, to talk to you. Like, there should never be that awkward stage. It should just come natural, and it should flow. And if it doesn't, then I don't really know if he's the man for you, if you're the girl for him.
We're the woman of the world.
Now it's time for Juju's rant of the day. Something I find so annoying is when people don't clean up after themselves. I don't care if it's in a movie theater setting when you're cleaning up your popcorn, or in a restaurant setting whenever you're gathering the stuff up to help the waiter. You're trying to make people's lives easier and not making yours harder either. It's just decent manners for you to clean up after yourselves. Like, your parents have constantly harped on cleaning up after yourself and making life easier for others. So I don't know why it's so hard for you not to clean up after yourself. Even if your room is like not tidy, how do you have it not tidy, like, and clean? I don't understand.
We just want to thank Mady for being the second guest of
It's
Her
Her
Time
Time
podcast.
It was definitely really interesting to hear your perspective from being a D1 athlete and kind of preparing us for what we could experience in the near future in college.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I love being on. If I can go back and be in your guys' shoes and experience the offers and AAU again, I so would. So enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching 3rd episode, and make sure to stay tuned for all the upcoming episodes we have.
And make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, because we have our full episodes on YouTube and little snippets on Instagram and TikTok.